Hey guys, Civil Lord here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Black Adam movie, Hawkman. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, since I no longer have the packaging for this figure, let's first take a look-see at his accessories, starting off with the collectible trading card, which hopefully won't throw off the white balance for the entirety of this review. Either way, there's an image of Hawkman from the movie. Or maybe it's artwork from the movie. Either way, it's close enough to this figure, I guess. It said there's a bio on the back that you can pause and read at your own leisure. Long story short, his name is Carter Hall, descendant of Qatar Hall. I mean, that's creative, right? And Hawkman is a descendant of the race of, well, aliens, I guess, known as Thanagarians, who are just really humans with wings. So are they aliens or just humans with wings? Either way, you decide. They crash landed in Egypt a long time ago, and Carter Hall is supposedly a descendant of Qatar Hall, who's one of the ones who crashed in Egypt there. So I kind of know a lot about this character, but kind of don't. So if anyone wants to add anything to that, please feel free to do so. And of course, I'm not forgetting about Hawk Girl, my bae, from when I was in, 10th grade? Left her in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Shiera Hall. I think her name was always Shiera Hall. That said, Hawkman, of course, comes with his trademark mace, which this thing looks like it could do some freaking damage, dude. Like, holy crap. That is a spiky fella right there. These kind of hurt, these spikes, so be careful with that. Might actually kill somebody with that thing. That said, he of course comes with the trademark there hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. And in this guy's case, you may want to use this, because he does have a couple of things that make him kind of top heavy. You guessed the wings on his helmet. You're a funny guy. That said, when I pre-ordered this guy, I didn't know he was gonna be a brother. Yes, Hawkman is a black guy in the Black Adam movie. Lots of black in that movie. Either way, you know, I'm not the type of guy who's going to sit here and advocate for all this, you know, representation in media and stuff, because here's the deal. I don't know anyone, white or black, who A, dresses like this, B, flies, C, is part of the Justice Society of America, and D, has like super strength and a really cool skull bashing weapon. So how can nobody can identify with this dude because he's not human? Like, really? In fact, he looks more like is his name Voltac from Flash Gordon to me. He's got Suns Out Guns Out though, so that's cool. But yeah, the whole representation thing, it doesn't mean squat to me, because how can you identify with somebody who does a whole bunch of crap that you can't do? Like, really? Like, I can't turn into a flaming skeleton and drive a motorcycle. Let alone, I can't do what Daredevil does. I can't do, like, backflips and fight ninjas and stuff. That's ridiculous. So, you know, if you want to identify with someone like Lois Lane, that's a little different, because that's a little bit more based in reality. But if you're like, oh, I want to identify with Superman, okay, are you an alien that can fly and shoot lasers and ice breath and super strength and super speed? I didn't think so. So, you know, all this representation crap and all this needing to find emotions in music from this modern generation of young hipsters, it's just kind of grinding on my gears, dude, and I'm kind of tired of it. So, well, I don't mind Hawkman being black because, again, he's kind of supposed to be a descendant of someone from Egypt who were not, you know, white people, last I checked. I don't see the big deal of changing it in the first place. So, yeah. But I guess this actor was actually handpicked by The Rock, so obviously he's doing something right. And I did enjoy him in the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the Black Adam movie. I didn't see anything wrong with it, other than the fact we got Cyclone instead of Red Tornado. I would have much preferred Red Tornado, but I guess it couldn't have been a sausage fest, right? That said, as far as articulation on this figure goes, this head is on a double ball peg, which of course works like a charm. So again, all you guys being all, look at that. He's looking straight up. Put him in a flight pose. Granted, these wings kind of suck. They don't articulate, but that's okay. You can look down. He can tilt. So long as the wings on his helmet don't get out of the way. And I did actually heat this guy up and kind of warp these. Tried to anyways. Because they look really stupid out of package. And his head is actually still cold from me doing that. So if he gets a little wet during this review, that's just condensation. That said, his shoulders go out to the side. They go back down. They rotate forward and back. He's got a butterfly in there. Doesn't give you a ton of range though. Bicep cut. Works fine. A little bit on the gummy side, I guess, but not bad. Not Marvel Legends bad. Do I need to go into that again? I didn't think so. He's got a double elbow. Kind of gappy, but not terrible. He's got a ball hinge wrist, which does work on both sides. He's got a diaphragm joint, but I'm not going to move it because on mine it was super loose out of package. And it's not loose right now, so you know what? Highly doubt he can crunch that far forward. I guess I'll crunch him forward. Yeah, he can't crunch that far forward. The armor is very hindering on this guy, but the torso joint, thankfully, on mine stiffened up since I got him. That said, moving that out of the way. His hips can kick out to the side, back, down, forward, back. He has a... Yeah. This actually goes out a little bit more than it goes in, but he does have a thigh cut. I want to say on both sides. Is this one, like, taller than the other one? No, not really. It's just this one's a little stuffed. Yeah, that works. It's fine. Double knee. Knees were always kind of loose on this wave, I'm not going to lie. So they need to tighten that up. Definitely not as bad as that Killer Croc I took a look at the other day. Oh, boy. It's got the hinge in the foot, which can barely... Oh. Dang. Holy... Shoot. Holy tight ratchet joint, Batman. That's not freaking very... Wow. Haven't had one of those this tight in a while. Guess I forgot about how tight old Hawkman's feet were. Oh, even this one's tight. Holy shoot. Okay, so he's got the ball hinge feet with the rocker and the toe. The toe isn't the tightest, but the freaking ankle joints are... Holy cow, man. Holy cow. That's kind of impressive. Considering that the last one with decent feet we looked at was Grifter, I think. I mean, seriously. Actually, Killer Croc didn't have bad ankle hinges. It's just his toes weren't worth the crap. But I really like this figure. Is it top 10? Absolutely not. It's a movie figure, and I usually don't prioritize those over my comic book stuff, because I'm a comic book guy at heart. I want a classic, you know, Hawkman, but for a first attempt, this is fine. The wings on the back, they just rotate, which I'm okay with. I don't need them to freaking do all this crazy stuff. I wish they could spread out a little bit more, or maybe hinge back, but as it stands, you can put him in a flight pose. It's just not going to be the most dynamic of flight poses. That said, why don't we give him his Morning Star, because this thing is freaking awesome. And unlike some of my multiverse reviews, we actually have some size comparisons that make sense for this guy. So I will get them out. They're actually still hanging out. I never put them in storage. But, I guess that's where his hand goes. Huh. I thought it went elsewhere, but there he is with his Morning Star. His mace, whatever you want to call it. His big pain maker. That thing looks like it's gonna hurt if he hits you with it. Like, seriously. A little tricky to stand, but he is top heavy, so I'll cut him some slack. These wings are pretty heavy on his back. Very reminiscent of the Wonder Woman 84 with the gold armor, except these are less articulated than those wings were. So, yeah, just trying to This one don't want to move. What the heck? I guess there we go. The thing that sucks is I can't put him on the ground. I wish I could. This one is sitting lower than the other one. It's driving me nuts. What the heck? I guess there. That's probably as good as that's going to get. Alright. That's going to have to do. But there he is. Carter Hall. Mr. Carter. Saying welcome back, Carter. What am I talking about? But either way, he looks awesome. I actually don't mind, the race swap. But then again, I was like one of two people who wasn't complaining about King Grayskull being black either. So I guess sue me. I'm not opposed to it, but I also don't see the reason why. So with that being said, this review tracks out any longer than it already has. Let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Hawkman alongside the only other Black Adam movie figures I've already reviewed, with the exception of the Sabak Megafig, who would not fit on screen with these three because, no, he's a Megafig, and really, if you don't know how big a Megafigure should be in this line by now, what are you doing here? What are you doing, guy? That said, we have the very controversial Dr. Fate, who I like, but I know some people think that helmet is freaking stupid, and they have every right to think that, because how is Homeboy supposed to get around with no eye holes? I mean, seriously, I know it's Naboo controlling him when he's like that, but still, it's just not practical, especially for an actor. That said, he is probably my favorite character from this whole movie, along with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Black Adam here, who I never saw wearing this cloak at all in the movie. What the heck? I bought the movie inaccurate one. Like, really? Oh boy, I hope I could still get that one with the throne from Target. But either way, I really enjoyed this movie. I liked all three of these characters, actually. I even liked Cyclone and Atom Smasher. I thought it was a really fun movie, and if you haven't seen it, highly suggest you do, because, well, let's just say, to say that Sabak eats crap hard in the end is an understatement. Like, Black Adam goes full-blown Mortal Kombat on that arse right there. And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, living Spawn as usual, towers over everyone. That said, seeing Hawkman next to Spawn here makes me really want a new Wings of Redemption Spawn, Todd. Get on that. That said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and even though I would have much rather have had a more traditional comic book style version of good old Hawkman here, particularly the new 52 one, because that one has really kick butt armor design about it, which kinda feels like that's what they were going with for this design of Hawkman. Either way though, as much as I am more a fan of comic book over cinema, this is actually not a bad figure. I think it's decent. I'd say the only thing holding it back for me is really the lack of posability in the wings, even though I don't need the ball hinges in the back. It would have been nice to spread these wings out and maybe hinge them back a little bit, get him into a flight pose, because his helmet and his wings kind of clash with each other and things just kind of get in the way. Other than that, the rest of the figure is pretty solid in my opinion, and if you are a fan of the Black Adam movie like I am, I highly suggest you pick him up. I think he's a solid addition to at least this set of DC Multiverse figures from the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, of course. But I guess at the end of the day, if I ever want to go back to a classic Hawkman, I can always whip out my Mattel DC Classics one I got from a good buddy T-Biz several years ago now. That said, your boy is stupid and didn't pick up Dr. Fate and Black Adam when they were kind of affordable, and now they are, well, let's say the exact opposite of that. So, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this review, if you're so inclined, please feel free to do all the YouTube rigmarole, as well as hit me up over on Instagram at Overlord Productions. If you ever want to talk toys or anything specific, that is the #1 best way to get a hold of yours truly. As always, keep the comments civil. So what sucks enough as it is, especially when I don't want to say what happened to Dr. Fate because it made me sad. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.